Welcome back everyone. In the series of learning programming in C, we have already discussed the variables, constants, keywords and identifiers. In this video, I am going to discuss different data types present in C language. So upon the completion of this session, the learner will be able to understand what are data types, need of data types and how to use it in a program. Everything about these data types we are going to discuss in today's video with proper examples, right? So let's take an example first. In our almirah, we have different space. Like if you want to put clothes, so there is separate space for that. There is one drawer also where you can put some other things like luxury items or cash. So according to requirement, you need that space. It's not like that in the drawer you put clothes. No, right? So in the memory also, according to our requirement, we reserve space. Now, how we specify how much space we need in memory? That is spaced by or that is specified by the data type, right? So data types, as the name suggests, it tells you what the type of data that we want to store in memory, whether it's a number like 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or it's a character like A, or a string like computer, or maybe it a float number that is 23.45, that is a floating point number. So which type of data you want to store, according to that computer is going to reserve some memory for us so that we can use that memory or access that memory, right? For example, if this is a memory location, suppose here a number 12 of integer type, okay, and we store that number within a variable name A, right? And how many bytes it will take to store? That is the size of its data type, that is integer. ଆମେ ଏଠି integer ରଖିଛେ, so ଏଟା integer ଏଇ integer ଉପରେ depend કરે ଯେ ସେ କେତେ byte କୁ allocate କରିବ space, right? So that we will discuss later. If you want to access the memory, we can easily access by calling its name only, right? ଯଦି ଆମେ କେବଳ OA କୁ call କରିବା ତାହେଲେ ଆମେ ଏଇ 12 କୁ easily access କରିପାରିବା, ତା ଭିତରେ ଯୋଉ value ଅଛି variable ଭିତରେ ତାକୁ ଆମେ easily access କରିପାରିବା. So this is why we need data types, that is to tell the type of data that you are going to store in a variable. So data type is tell you what? First, the data type of data, the type of data, sorry, the type of data. And second thing, how much memory will be allocated to that data? How much memory allocated to that data? Okay, so दीटा जिनस हमको डाटा टाइप प्रोवाइड करूचे. फर्स्ट तो से जो डाटा हम यूज करछे हम वेरिएबल भीतर जो वैल्यू रखछे सेटा को टाइप रो, एंड से जो वैल्यूटा सेटा केते मेमोरी हमर एलोकेट करूची कंप्यूटर भीतर सेट, राइट? सी we use data types to declare variables as well as functions. और data types को हमें यूज करछे variables को डिक्लेयर करिबारे as well as functions को डिक्लेयर करिबारे भी हमें data types को यूज करछे. So here is the hierarchy of data types. See the derived data types. Here are the primary data types, that is int, float, char, void, double, and the derived data types array, structure, sorry, array, pointer, and function. Then the user defined data types, that are structure, union, type diff, and enum. Okay. See, the derived data types are separate chapters in C. So we will discuss these in separate videos. Okay. And enum data type also we discuss in a separate video. Next, coming to user defined data type, that is type diff. We can discuss here. It's like we can give a name, that is your customized name to these primary data types. ଯଦି ଆମେ primary data types କିଛି customize କରିକି name ଦେବାକୁ ଚାହିଁବା ଆମ ଅନୁସାରେ, then ଆମେ ତାକୁ type def data type ରେ mention କରିପାରିବା. So suppose I am writing here type def int then computer. Okay, and the basic data type is int. Here we use the primary data type int, right? And I want to give name to this data type is suppose computer. Int को मैं customize करिए computer name दबाको चाहूँगी, right? So now when we write int a, जब मैं लिखिबी int a, it means we are declaring a variable of type integer. So rather than this, we can also write here what? Computer a. एठी मु कोन कली int को सिंपली रिप्लेस कर देली कंप्यूटर रे जोटा कि टाइप डेफ रे मु कस्टमाइज करछि ताको बुझियला because here I am rename it as computer. Here computer is a user defined data type, that is जोटा हमें user define करछि. Okay, so now in this video I am going to discuss about the primary data types. Okay, so what are these, why we use, what storage they need, everything, right? So first of all, let's see integer data type. Coming to integer data type, primary data type, right? Int is further categorized into two types, that is short int and long int. One is short int, another is our long int. See, these short and long are size modifiers, and further we also have two sign modifiers, that are unsigned and signed. Unsigned integer and next is signed int. Okay, so int stands for integer. Here int stands for integer. Integer. Right? So ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ integer type ର data use କରିବା ତା ପାଇଁ ଆମକୁ int data type use କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ. Integer को ଆମେ represent କରୁଛେ int ରେ. Okay? Only integer values can store here. Like ଆମେ ଯଦି ଦେଖିବା 2, 345, 12. But now range of these integers are what? See, suppose I want to store a number that is 989898989899. Okay, so can you store this using int data type? It is also an integer number. So can we store this using int data type? For that you have to know the range of integer data type, and it depends on the machine which you are using. Okay, so that is a 16-bit or 32-bit or 64-bit machine. So machine ଆମର three types ଅଛି, 16-bit ରହିପାରିବ, 32-bit ରହିପାରିବ or 64-bit ରହିପାରିବ. So ସେଟା machine ଉପରେ depend କରେ ଯେ ସେ integer ଟା ଆମେ ଯାହା ବି integer value ନେଲେ ସେଟା କେତେ byte ଆମର memory ର occupy କରିବ, right? So on a 16-bit machine the range of this integer is what? That is 16-bit ପାଇଁ range होची ଆମର -32768 to +32767, -32768 to +32767. Here 16-bit machine ପାଇଁ ଆମର range. So here we use minus and plus sign. So this for sign integer. ଯଦି આપણે minus plus sign use କରିବା ସେଗୁଡ଼ା sign integer ରେ ଆମର calculate କରାଯିବ. And by default int means sign integer. ଯଦି ଆମେ integer କୁ नबा by default int କହିଲେ ସେଟା sign integer ହିଁ ଦିଆଯିବ. Sign बोले ସେଥିରେ plus sign भी ଅଛି, minus sign भी ଅଛି. Okay, you can put the values negative as well as positive. But if you specify unsigned int, then you can put values what? Only positive values. जदि हमें unsigned int mention करूचे, unsigned ता माने sign ହେଇନି, ता माने by default सेटा positive ही रहिबो. Positive numbers ही ता भीतर रहिबो. No signs, no negative signs are allowed there. Okay, and the range for unsigned is what? Unsigned int ପାଇଁ range होची 0 to 65535. It is unsigned integer range, right? So you can take numbers between these range only for a 16-bit machine. The range will vary for 32-bit and 64-bit machine also. Now, the memory taken by the integer data type is what? এটা তো আমি জানলে তার রেঞ্জ কেতে, এবে জানিবা তার মেমোরি কেতে সে অকুপাই করিব, যেতিকে আমি গোটে ইন্টিজর ভ্যালুটা আমার ভ্যারিয়েবল স্টোর করছে মেমোরি ভিতরে, তো সেটা মেমোরিতে কেতে জায়গা অকুপাই করছে, কেতে স্পেস অকুপাই করছে, ইটস 2 bytes, right? But I am not saying that it is a rule that integer will take 2 bytes only. It depends on the machine you are using. Sometimes it occupies 4 bytes also. So it's better to write a program whichever system you are using, or maybe whichever language you are using. According to that, you can write down the one statement, that is printf, then percentage lu, then size of int. Okay, so printf percentile lu, it is for long unsigned int, lu for long unsigned int, and here you can write simply size of. It is predefined function, size of, predefined function that already declared in library. Size of int, that is you want to check. Okay, just write down this statement in your program, and then the size will be printed whether it takes 2 bytes or 4 bytes in your computer memory. So যদি আমি এই স্টেটমেন্টটা কো লিখি দেবা, আমি ইজিলি জানি পারিবা যে আমি যদি গোটে ইন্টিজর ভ্যালু আমার মেমোরি ভিতরে স্টোর করছে, যেন সেটা পার্টিকুলারলি কেতে বাইট অকুপাই করছে, সেটা 2 byte भी ହେଇପାରେ, 4 byte भी ହେଇପାରେ, যেটা ଆମର machine ଉପରେ depend করে. Okay, but generally in college also we know the size of integer is 2 bytes, but it depends on your machine. You need to remember this thing also. Okay, now why I am writing short int and long int here? See, short int and long int, two things. One is short int, another is long int. Suppose you want to store single value like 2. if you want to use store 2. So I don't need much space to store it. And if I want to store like 1, 2, 4, 5, 8, 9 something, this number, then obviously I need more space or more bits. So according to our requirement, we can specify. If we want less space, then you use sort int. ଯଦି ଆମର କମ ସ୍ପେସ୍ ଦରକାର ଥିବ then ଆମେ sort int use କରିବା. If more space like 4 number, then use long int at that time rather than wasting space. Suppose you want to store only 2. So for that, if you take long int, then the size of long int will be 4 bytes. long int size होची हमरो 4 bytes. तो हमको simply 2 को store करिया अछि तापे हम unnecessary काई बड़ space को occupy करिवा. Okay, बुझियला. So for that, it will if you take long int, then the size of long int will be 4 bytes, and sort int will take 1 byte. Sort int kete occupy karibo? Sort int occupy karibo 1 byte, right, to store in memory. So if number is short, then use sort int instead of long int. Why we are wasting space? It is obviously going to slow your applications only, right? So according to your requirement, use these things. That is why the modifiers are used. So how you can print integer value? By using its format specifier. What integer value को print करिया पे हमें तारो format specifier को use करिया. So integer by format specifier होची, that is percentile d. Okay, right, percentile d within double quotation, right? So now about character data type. Come to character data type. It is going to store a single character, right? And how will you define this character data type? You will use the keyword char. जेमती हम इंटीजर by int keyword use करते सेमती character data type को represent करिया पे हमें char keyword को use करिया, and just write down the name of that variable, simply a. Okay, that's it. This a is having value that is of character type, and the memory size it will take in internal storage is only 1 byte. Character data type memory 1 byte ही occupy करिवो. Okay, or you can say it 8 bits. Similar, right? So character can be signed and unsigned. It also can be signed and unsigned, but both will take 1 byte. Signed character use करो बा unsigned character use करो, जहाँ भी use करिवो से हमरो memory 1 byte ही occupy करिवो. By default, if I write char a, it means signed character, and the range of it जदि हमें signed use करो, signed रो range हमको पकेबो -128 to +127 signed character range. Okay, so signed हो unsigned हो, and the range of unsigned character is unsigned character में range हमारे 0 to 255, right? Because of unsigned, no negative value will be there. Unsigned character हमें जाने चाहिए int जेमती थिला similar. Unsigned character means only positive, negative character रहबनी, right? So the format specifier we will use for printing a character. जेमती हमें integer पे format specifier use कले हमारो percentile d. So characters पे सेमती हमें format specifier use करिबा percentile c within double quotation, right? Suppose I print c, printf percentile c, then 98. Then what should be the output? C. Percentile c means a character. We have to print a character in the output, right? It means after the comma, the first number is print, but here is a character. हमको character print करे अछि, but comma परे कौन अछि? Number अछि. But 98 is a number. Okay, so it will print the corresponding character of 98. 98 corresponding character को से print करियो. So character हमें कोड पाएगा according to ASCII. ASCII code हम पाके present अछि. So according to ASCII code, 98 character होची small b. So हमको output रे कौन से print करियो? Small b, right? Now next is the float data type. Here coming to float data type. It is used to store decimal or fractional values, and the memory size it will take as 4 bytes. Here float takes 4 bytes in memory. Okay, so the range of float data type is from -3.4 E38 to +3.4 E38. So before E it is a mantissa part here, and after E it is a exponent part. Okay, exponent form. So we declare it like float a. ଆଉ ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ variable को କୋ भले declare କରିବା float a. ଏटा होता data type, एटा होची a होची ଗୋଟେ variable. ताले हम एटी a को declare कले with a float variable or float value. Okay, we can also set real numbers as well as decimal numbers, right? And the format specifier we will use for float. Float पे हमें कौन format specifier use करें? Percentile f within double quotation, right? So let's take an example. जैसे हमें लिखिबा float a. Next, a equals to 10.0. So if I print A, then the statement is printf. Then I A को print करिया होचे statement कौन लिखा printf जेतु एटा float variable, so percentile a format specifier and A. Then what is the output? Output is 10.000000. Here is the output, right? The float data type will take 6 digit of precision. Float data type जेतेबेले आमे कोनोसी वैल्यू को प्रिंट करिवा, so decimal परे से 6 टा डिजिट को हमको प्रिंट करिवा, 6 digit precision को से इनपुट भाबरे एंट्री करेबो, right? So here 10 and 10.0 are different because 10 is of integer type. जदि हम simple 10 लिखिबा एटा integer type, but 10.0 हेले सेटा float type है जो, right? So float have extra two classes. Float रे extra दुटा classes, that is double and long double. गोटे अछि हमर double and next अछि long double, right? So double will take 8 bytes in memory and long double will take 10 bytes. Here it will take 8 bytes in memory and long double will take 10 bytes in memory, right? So to declare a variable of type double, we will write double, data type name is double, then average. So average is a variable of double type, double data type, right? And long double, if you write long double, then write long double and salary. So salary is a variable type long double, okay? The format specifier of type double, double by हमें format specifier use करिबा percentile LF. F for float, LF, long float means double, right? And in double data type we will take 14 digit precision. Double data type में 14 digit precision को use करे, तमाने हम decimal point परे 14 digit हमको value mention करियो पड़िबो, right? Okay, which have more accuracy, जोटा कि more accurate रहइबो, right? सेमती long double पे हमको format specifier रहइबो percentile capital LF within double quotation. Small LF हेले सेटा double, capital LF हेले सेटा long double, right? So next is void data type. We don't use this with variables. Void means what? Void means empty, right? Nothing is there. So you use this data type generally in functions. If a function do not return any value, then you declare that function as a void data type, okay? But generally not declare this void data type with variable names, okay? It is a special data type which cannot store any constant values, right? So in the context of 16-bit machine, I will draw a table here. See, here data types are present, their range, how many bytes they are occupied in memory, and their format specifier. Everything was written, right? So that's it for primary data types in C. In the next video, we will discuss about operators present in C. Okay, thank you.